Hello, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. I'm super excited to talk to all of you again about the cards. And I'm always super excited when somebody says, "Hey, I saw you, it's really fun, and thank you, I appreciate this information." That makes me feel really good, like I'm not just talking into the void. So, without further ado, our card for the day. Oh, well, it was bound to happen sometime. The devil. Can't have good cards every day, can't have mediocre cards every day. Sometimes you got to pick one that's a little bit scary. This one is a little bit on the scary side when it comes up, but I promise you there are some benefits to this card. I try to look at it when I'm doing a reading, even when there's a bad card that comes up, there is some silver lining. I like to see a silver lining. I also like to tell people nothing is written in stone, and this is a reminder that whatever path you're on is leading to something that might not be beneficial to you, but it's here to remind you that if you change or if you learn from this, something better is to come. So take this as you will. The Devil is one of the major arcana cards. That is, again, that hero's journey, the fool's journey, that circular adventure from zero to the world. So the Devil is the number 15 card. And it is a dark card. It usually has to do with a lot of negative forces. It can even be like black magic and curses and things like that. If you totally put faith in that kind of stuff, it also is a lot of like destruction, subjugation, all of these sort of things that have to do with the devil. So before I go too deep into that, I want to kind of describe the card itself. We are using, again, the Mary Hanson Roberts deck, which I just want to point out, here it is, it's Thursday, May 28th, and we only have a couple more days to the month, and really only one more day after this that I will be doing reading per day. So in June, I may start with a different card deck just to kind of shake things up a little bit every month. I have several in my collection. Anyway, moving back. So the Devil. In this card in the Mary Hanson Roberts deck, there is the devil. He's a big horned being. He's got an inverted pentagram on his head. He's got wings, kind of hairy looking. Looks like he probably hasn't shaved in a while. He's got what looks like a giant spatula in his hand. What it is the torch of destruction. And he's got it pointed down at these two individuals who are, it's a man and a woman, and they're both kind of bound to the pedestal that the devil is rising up out of or rising up from behind. They are bound to it. And they look scared. They're cowering, their heads are bowed, they can't get away, but they really want to run from this. The devil depicts all of those things in the sense that you are bound by addiction, you are bound by poor choices, you are bound by whatever your bad situation is. So you're trapped by this, is really what it's saying. It's not good, it's not healthy, and you really got to find a way to escape from this. But saying that, there's a lot we can learn from kind of our shadow selves, those darker things, those addictions. Maybe, I like to say sometimes some people's lives are a series of events of what not to do. And maybe that's kind of where you are right now in life, is this is what not to do. And when you do these, when you look at this and you see this card come up and you see, oh, this really isn't so good, look at the choices that you've been making in life. Are they positive choices? Are they choices that are probably going to get you into trouble? The devil can also be a source of enlightenment. It can be a means to greater awareness, mostly self-awareness. This is a card that kind of connects more to the astral world, to our higher selves, to the soul, to the spirit. When the devil comes up, it is equally physical and metaphysical. There may be some physical things happening. that are causing you to feel like you're trapped, but there may be some metaphysical side of this, the thought process side of it, that is causing you to do the things that you are doing. And it can lead to enlightenment. When this card comes up, I really tell people, hey, what are you doing right now that maybe you need to check yourself? What are you doing right now that maybe is not so healthy in attitude and not so healthy in behaviors? It could be anger issues. It could be stress. It could be addiction. It could be any number of things. But the idea of having this card come up is to tell people, hey, pay attention. This isn't healthy for you. You need to change. And I always tell people, like, it's up to you what you do with this information. It's up to you what you do with this card. But that is what it's telling you. It is telling you that currently the situation surrounding you is not healthy. And that's the biggest part of this. The other part of this too could be, it could be external. It could be not something internal for yourself. It could be that you're in a situation where you're being subjugated and you just don't realize it yet. It could be a situation where people are using lies and trickery and suppression and all of these things. They're out to get you. Not to make people paranoid, but it can be that this card is trying to let you know, hey, there's a devil and it's not just on your shoulder. This is after you and he's coming to get you. And maybe put your guard up. Pay attention. Don't trust innocently of what people are doing. The flip side of this card is finally escaping the negativity, finally escaping a toxic relationship, finally escaping a work environment that's not healthy, getting over that addiction, taking those first steps to be healthy and to be aware of who you are and who you could be, your potential. So this is a card of enlightenment as much as it is a card of detriment and awareness and the devil on your shoulder. What I really like about this card is while in every deck the devil is sort of depicted as evil, it's evil because you can't get away from it. It's not so much that like these things are going to get you no matter what. It's because these people are attached to it. So if you cut those cords and you escape, the devil's still going to be there, but you don't have to deal with it. And to talk a little bit about cutting cords, there are some things that you do in spiritual practice, in Reiki practice, in other sorts of modalities where you literally are cutting cords. You are concentrating on those spiritual connections, those karmic attachments that you have, and going, nope, this is bad for me, and you're cutting those away. This could be a depiction of that. It's time to kind of clean up your past, clean up those karmic attachments. And it doesn't just have to be in that metaphysical woo woo sort of way of like my past lives and all of this stuff. Look at the relationships that you're in, look at the environments you put yourself in. I like to think about like when you're in your teens and your 20s and you have a lot of friends that you think are super cool, but they're making you choose things that probably are not a good thing. What are some things you can do to get yourself out of that? It is not up to you to save everybody else. Save yourself. The ones who can also save themselves will follow your lead. You can clear the path for them and open the door so that they can follow you out. You are not under obligation to drag everybody with you. And that's again what these ties are, these bindings are you trying to save someone so much that it's dragging you down as well? Because you may not be the person who's in addiction. You may not be the person who's toxic. You may not be the person who's doing bad things, but because you are aligning yourself with someone or something that is negative and draining, it's pulling you down with it. It's an anchor. So look at it as external forces that you may have to shield yourself against. Look at it as internal things that you may want to look at and gain a little insight and self-awareness of what are my bad qualities and what are some things I can change. And also look at that kind of karmic side of it is, are there some things that I can remove from my life that are causing me stress, that are causing me strain? When I see this card come up, I also try to look at the cards surrounding it. Is this a health issue? Is this a job issue? Is this a relationship issue? And all of those things can go back to this. The devil has an effect on everything. And if you want to look at the devil as like, the devil made me do it, or the devil is cursed upon me, in the way you can look at this card this way and say, okay, that's your devil. That's your trouble. So I hope that's helpful with this card in how to kind of look at it in a positive way, as well as look at, really breaking apart what the negative aspects are and how you can escape them and how you can get out of it. I hope it's helpful in teaching you about some of the meanings of the card. And if you're interested in having some more in-depth lessons, please let me know. Contact me. My website is in the description. You can make an appointment for lessons. You can make an appointment for a reading. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about how technology and the metaphysical connect, please check out my book that I wrote with Bob Frank. It's called Cloud to Cloud. It is available on Amazon. I also have some copies here if you want to order directly from my website and get a signed copy. I'm always excited to talk about my work, to talk about the cards, and I'd love to hear from everybody. So please leave a comment in the bottom if you're more interested in learning about the tarot and some of the other cool stuff that I do. So until then, have a great Thursday.